You're in for a treat. I'm lucky enough to be speaking to someone who's been with Ideal Directories for less than 10 months, Billy Mancini from PittsburghLocalCoupons.com. At almost 60 years old, he broke away from a boring career selling insurance and turned his attention to helping small businesses thrive online, in the process going from zero to holy cow in record time. And he did it by setting up some creative pricing packages, putting himself out there and pretending he wasn't shy. He was drawn to the Ideal Directory's business model by the recurring revenue and the ability to live his golden years with total freedom to move about the country or world without having to get an okay from his boss. He's the boss now, making up all the rules as he goes, networking to the max, and charming everyone he runs into because he's legitimately having fun with what he's doing. Billy didn't have any experience with advertising, marketing, or web design in any way, but he applied his drive, commitment, and bright personality to a business of his own that he's already reaping the rewards from. As you're soon about to see, he's overflowing with creative marketing ideas, ideas that you can take and apply to your own business right away. And he is determined to make PittsburghLocalCoupons.com a true household name in his market. I can't wait for everyone to hear what he's about to share. So, Billy, thank you so much for doing this with me today.
Thank you for having me.
You know, one of the things I often find ourselves discussing with other people who are looking to start a business directory website is them having difficulty seeing themselves as a business owner, as a business directory website owner. And one of the reasons I was so excited to have you on to speak with me was because from our limited conversations, I got the feeling you're a regular guy. And when you can prove how anyone, a regular person who's never run a business directory website before, especially, can get in and find success with this, I figured it might be really helpful to some other folks who are considering getting on board. So, what could you tell us about yourself so we can get to know you a little bit better?
Well, first of all, I'm 60 years old. And at this point in my life, I wanted income that would come in and would be residual. So I've come from the insurance world, so I know residual income. And I was looking for something that was going to be creative, was going to help people, and was not going to be too hard to start up and wouldn't take a lot of capital to start up. So I stumbled upon Ideal Directories and I did a little research. I read up about how it all works. And I thought this is the perfect opportunity because you do a lot of the stuff. You do a lot of the back end and a lot of the preparation for us, even like the creative part. So it makes it very easy to see a client, talk to them, and design a whole ad for them on the website. The nice part about it is you can target any business. And in my Pittsburgh local coupons, it's local businesses. So I didn't want big box. I want only local businesses to be on the website. So that's a niche, that it is local. That's very appealing to customers when I go talk to them. It's nice because I can already show them a finished ad too, which the click and go, it's wonderful. So basically my day kind of consists of, in the morning, prospecting new ads, putting them together, and then going and talking to those businesses, or through email or text or just contacting them.
So, nothing about you or your personality or the type of individual you are, your upbringing, really you feel makes you more apt to finding success in something like this than anyone else.
No, I think I truly believe anybody could do this. I really do. It's that easy. And it's like not, it sounds like so salesy, but it's really not because it's very. If I'm 60 and I don't understand the internet, I don't understand. I'm learning as I go. I had to learn how to click pictures and save them and put them in, but so it took maybe a day, not even. So I can find a business, take pictures of their menu, put them into their ad, put them into their space, and then send them that link and say, look, it's already done. And you can be a part of this. And it's only Pittsburgh locally owned businesses or whatever you're doing, whatever. I mean,
Right.
you could even, for this, there's so many options. You wouldn't even, you could narrow it down to a certain type of business and make it just be an app for that. Just an
Right.
app for restaurants or whatever in your area.
Right.
It's
And
very
so that
versatile.
was something that I get the feeling you really weren't able to maybe perhaps enjoy or get as much satisfaction out of when you were in, I think, the insurance world. Is that right?
Right. So I was in insurance, and the long and the short of this is I was in Florida, and I was spending the month in Florida, and I was still working in Florida for the insurance company. And I was like, this isn't gonna make it. Like, because you had to be there for a certain amount of time every day. You were expected to be on the phone that time. So I'm like, I'm finding something else. And that was in January. So I think I started in January. I literally started just Googling franchises. And that's when yours came up. And I'm like, this is like a gold mine. This is perfect because everybody wins, right? And you price it enough that the advertisement isn't going to break their arm to do it. And there's no reason for them not to then. And it comes in every month. You just keep them happy and it comes in every month. Check in, change coupons, let them know you're thinking about them. You know, it was the perfect business for my time of life of what I wanted.
A time when you wanted to not necessarily slow down, but have the ability to move around a little bit more, whether, figuratively speaking or literally speaking.
Yeah, slow down. There's no slowing down. I'll be working until I'm 80. Like there's no slow down. I
Well,
have
we
to work.
all.
I have to work. But I don't want to give up my life for work. So this is it's so crazy you're calling me. I'm literally had an opportunity to go with friends to Greece. I'm leaving on the 9th. I'm leaving on Sunday. So I have all of my clients lined up. They know I'm leaving. They know they can get a hold of me. But if they need me to change a coupon or they need me to run something for them, I can do it because all I need is the internet. So I can work anywhere I want as long as I have the internet.
That's
So
awesome. Now,
I'm so thrilled.
how many times before this have you been able to travel the world while still collecting your
Uh,
paychecks?
Never. Unless I took off work. Unless I took off work. I could never work
Yeah,
and do that. Yeah.
right. Now, so you're telling me that you were still actively working in insurance, you stumbled across this and said, you know what, this kind of resonates with me, this kind of makes sense to me. How long were you doing this as a side gig, or are you still? Can you talk to me a little bit about what the transition period was like from having all of your time committed to your full-time job and then what it looks like now?
So from January through June, it was a side gig. And June forward now, it is full time. I'm full time
That is
because
awesome.
I see the potential. I know it's there. So yeah, this is my full time gig.
That is awesome. And now, how many hours would you say per week you invest in running your directory website business?
I usually put in, well, I put a lot of hours in because it's your own business. So when it's your own business, you're working all the time. You're always thinking, you always have an idea. With PittsburghLocalCoupons.com, I also incorporated in my packages some social media services. So in a basic plan, a person just gets a listing. They just get a listing on the website. If I find as I'm talking to the person that they don't really have a social media presence, well then I offer them the intermediate package. And on that one, I'll do 3 posts a week for them on their social media, right? As long and with the social media of PittsburghLocalCoupons.com. So we have Facebook, we have Instagram. So I do posts on our social media and theirs. Now, if I find somebody that really needs some help, it's the premium package. Now that gives them a post a day. And I have a few of those clients because it is a premium package. But that premium package allows me to quit my old job, right? I don't want to, not that I don't want, because I could hire people to start helping me, but as a one-man show, there's only so much I can do in a day. So I limit those packages. The $25 packages, that's the lowest, is the one that I keep on promoting because the key to it is there's no contract. So if someone has a busy season, like Christmas time is going to be their busy season, they may want me to up the game and do social media posting for them. Now they pay the higher premium just for those months, or they have a special event just for that time. Then they can drop right back down. What I'm finding is that people that started out at the $25 do upgrade to the 3 posts a week, and they don't drop back down because I do such a good job for them. They know that their name is getting out there on our website, on our Facebook, on our Instagram, and theirs. So again,
So let me get this straight. So you kind of took the PittsburghLocalCoupons.com, you launched that, you're pitching it, and you're saying to yourself, I feel like these people could use something else.
More, yes.
And then you decided to say, what can I do for them that doesn't require, crazy ingenuity or going back to school for, or buying expensive technology and investing in all this stuff for? Let me just stay active on social media for them. And now, did you come from doing social media prior? Like, were you like some social
No.
media guru?
That's a no. No. No, no, no. But I'm getting very, very good. I am really getting good. So it's kind of like being, what do they call it, influencer? So I'm kind of like an influencer without being an influencer because I have this select amount of clients that work with me to promote their social media. So I have a jewelry store, and this jewelry store, you can post so many pieces of jewelry, and you think, okay, let's get creative with this. So I went to her and I said, look, why don't we do a reel, so like an Instagram reel, that every Friday you pull something out of the case and you talk about that piece of jewelry. And so we called it the Pie Shall Pick, that's the name of the jewelry, Fridays. And now I go there, though, one time in the month. She brings a change of clothes. We film 4. And then I just go to Facebook and I put it in the calendar to go up every Friday for the month. So now I don't have to go back there again. But it's fresh enough that if she gets new stock in, the next month she gets to show that. So it has really helped me. And what's helped me even better, they will tell people about you. They will tell people about you, and you will get word of mouth. Now, I also would suggest to anybody, like I have a sushi place. It's a roll your own sushi. You go in, you tell them the fish you want, you tell them what you want on the roll. It's called sushi otarashi. And they roll the sushi right there for you. So I've been doing his. He was on the basic plan. All of a sudden he says, I want to try more. So I'm like, well, why don't we do an event where I come out and it was a backpacks for a cause. So what I'm trying to convey right now is get involved with different things. So Backpacks for a Cause is a foundation that gives backpacks to underprivileged kids. So we did a Backpacks for a Cause fund drive on a Saturday. I went out there live on Instagram from PittsburghLocalCoupons.com. We had the fun.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing I was going to ask you is you're doing videos on behalf of your clients, stuff you're putting out as Pittsburgh Local Coupons.
Right. To them, I'm known as Uncle B. Everybody's like, oh, Uncle B is here. Like, that's how they know me. Uncle B from PittsburghLocalCoupons.com. And every video, everything that I do has a little Pittsburgh Local Coupons logo in the bottom. So people know that that's where it came from. But the interesting thing about this Sushi Otarashi is he wasn't so crazy about doing the more money, right? Then we did this event, and now he's calling me, and he's saying, look, there is events going on in the city of Pittsburgh that you should be a part of. Be a sponsor. And the sponsorship was $200. So that's like, but I'm known as a sponsor now. Pittsburgh Local Coupons is known as a sponsor for Glowland. I'm so happy to be a part of that. And now I talked to Glowland, that's what the installation is called, and they're like, would you talk to other businesses, like help promote them for this event? They're not even paying me, but I don't care. Because now I'm going to have my face, Glowland, and Pittsburgh Local Coupons, right?
So you can
Now
almost
the thing
leverage an installation, as you called it, a local event, to build up your directory website's brand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See, That's what I was hoping you say as well, because and we're not here to tell everyone, at least I'm not, you might not even be here to tell everyone, go do social media for businesses.
No.
The idea behind it is to figure out what else business owners might need and see how your brand can fit into what's already going on. Because as an individual, look, there's always a face behind the directory website. You can't deny that. You can't be a faceless directory website and think that you're going to, be a big time winner. You've got to come out from behind the website sometimes and get to know businesses in the area. And when you do that and your personal brand is attached to your directory website brand, I imagine you wear that shirt everywhere. Or not that exact, you probably wash it or have
Everywhere
other
I go.
versions.
Everywhere I go. And right now I want one with a bigger logo. I'm like, this logo is not big enough. Right? This logo is not big enough. I want a hat. If I could get it on my car, it will be on my, eventually probably will be on my car. It will probably be a decal on my car. Because you're building that. So, in my terms, I'm thinking, well, how does a Grubhub, how does anybody get known, right? So you have to build that brand. You have to build that logo, that name.
Right.
And it's not, I'm not, anybody that's watching this, it's not easy. Because when you start out, nobody even knows who you are.
Right.
You don't know who you are, but it takes time,
Right.
and you
Just like no one knew what Grubhub was in your example, no
right.
one knew what Uber was or what anything was.
No.
Everything starts out from zero in the
Yes.
marketing world,
Yeah.
and you have to build it up. And I think it's much easier to build something up that's local than it is to build something up that's national, right? Because I have people ask me all the time, and I was, oh, can I do a national directory? Can I do? Of course you can, yes, but why would you want to when you realize that if you have to market yourself and establish your brand, isn't it a lot easier to do it in a town of 10,000 or 20,000 or 30,000 than it is, the entire country? So that's something that I think you did quite well. Even though Pittsburgh's a big market.
And and honestly, to tell you the truth, if I had to do it all again, I would not have done all of Pittsburgh.
Ah,
I would have picked a town in Pittsburgh, and I would have just capitalized on that town. One of the main things that I have now is, hey, look, I have this business in the east, this one in the west. I have nobody in the south. Don't you want to be a part of this?
yeah.
Pittsburgh is very east oriented, so the west really gets lost. So when
Mm,
I'm in the west, I'm like, look, the east is getting everybody. I'm going to just concentrate on the west, like just So you just have to get out there. You have to really, you have to believe in it though, and that's the thing.
yeah.
I believe in it, and I believe that the pricing is good, and there's opportunity. They can track with their coupons. Some of them don't even give coupons, and I tell them that's okay. You don't have to. But if you give a
Exactly.
coupon, you're going to be able to know if I brought you that customer or not.
Of course. Right.
Right?
I love it. Cool. So it sounds to me like you got started with just the directory, started finding other services people need. You mashed it together, came out with a price point that made sense. You've got premium clients, you've got basic clients, you merged them all together, you see opportunities to scale. Let's talk about kind of how you would advise someone else perhaps to be able to do something similar as you have. So, what I like to do when I get time with someone like yourself, I like to talk about some tips for success. And you might have heard me talk about these tips in videos and stuff online, but it's always nice to be able to hear someone who has actually utilized these tips. And I was hoping maybe you can talk a little bit to a few of these, especially. The first one, I always tell folks leverage existing relationships. And what that means is basically work off of the relationships you have, friends, family, associates, whoever, in the neighborhood, town, city, whatever, and they can kind of open doors for you. So I think from our first conversation, you told me you were doing a little bit of that. Can you talk a little bit to that technique?
Sure. So yeah, I have talked to friends and family. Do you know anybody? That the same thing you would do with insurance. Do you know somebody that needs
Or any
insurance?
business. Yeah.
Same for any business, right? So I have done that. But and even more that I have found that has been great is the referral from a business that you are once you get them. So I have a business. They're a Halloween haunted attraction. So they're once a year. And then they have a paintball field. So
Oh,
that's
cool.
all year round. It's not in the budget for him to go more for me. And his son does all his social media. So it's really not there. But he loves the networking. So networking is even more so than asking people, right? The networking of everybody. So this is going off your question a little bit. Yes, I do ask friends and family, but what I'm finding is strangers are even better. So the networking. So because I did such a good job for him on his haunted attraction, he now said to me, I have a list of other business owners that I'm telling them about you. So they join. That was better than him paying for an extra month. It was better than him upgrading
Right.
for a month. It was excellent. So that kind of networking is good. And I would suggest it to anybody that's doing this. I network all of my listings. So when I go and I do a live, say I do a live event for someone,
Hmm.
I usually incorporate some kind of entertainment, a game, something. So that the person that owns the company is playing a game. And when they win the game, their prize is actually a gift from another client. So if I'm at Walk Run Lift, that is a client of mine. It's a gym. Anyway, they played the game. Well, when they won cupcakes from Shell's Sweet Treats. So now in that Instagram post, in that Facebook, two of my clients are getting coupled up. Now, when I go to Shell's, they'll win a membership for a month from Walk Run Lift.
Got it.
So I try to let my businesses that are on the website know of the other businesses that are on the website. Because if there's a way to tie them together and help promote them together, because the website is promotion in itself. But anybody that's doing this, you have to realize you're going to be promoting businesses yourself.
Right.
You're going to have to do that. You're
Right.
going to have to go out there and help promote them. So you're invested in their business just like they're invested in yours.
I think that's a perfect example of leveraging existing relationships, right? Because you say, all right, I have this client of mine, you're an active client, who's got this thing that's valuable, and I'm going to make that a prize or reward, a gift or incentive for someone else to potentially come on board with me.
Right.
That's great. Right, whether you're utilizing existing paying clients, friends, family, previous connections, whatever it is, you have to build and leverage and use those relationships. And seems like you're doing a very good job of that.
I'll try it. But I'm
And
telling you, the website alone, the website gives you all the tools you need. The website gives you your store, right? Think of the website as your store. So it's your virtual store, that's your website. But to get people to come to your store or be in your store, you have to use other advertising measures. Social media is the easiest way to do it. So you're doing Facebook, you're doing Instagram. So you're promoting your store just like a hair salon is going to promote their hair salon.
right.
But you're doing it with posts on your social media for Pittsburgh local coupons or whatever your ideal directory is. On that social media, you should be posting people that are clients of yours every day. Every day, someone that's on Facebook and is looking at your directory sees some of the people that you have on your directory because that's going to make them click to open the directory, right? So
And that's one of the things that I think has helped you be different. Because one of the tips for success I always share with people is to stand out from the crowd. How are you going to make yourself different? Because I also get people say, oh my gosh, I don't know if I should get started in this market. There's already another site that is a directory. Yeah,
they're not
no,
you.
no
They're not
kidding.
you.
No kidding. There's always going to be a Yelp, a Google. Of course, there's someone else there.
Yeah.
But for each site that's got a different name, a different color, a different brand, a different whatever, and a different owner, naturally there's going to be a different audience. So how do you stand out? Obviously, it's you yourself. Can you think of anything else besides this whole networking thing and this cross relationship thing that you've done to help you stand out from the crowd a little bit?
I actually put together a little commercial for Pittsburgh local coupons. Right? And I don't want people to think, oh, it's so hard. How do you do that? It's not that hard. Even if it was just a post of, are you tired of paying too much for advertising? So I put together this video. So the video just plays on social media. So people wonder, what is Pittsburgh local? Like, just like you're promoting businesses on your website, you have to promote your website. And that's kind of the chicken and the egg thing there, because in the beginning, you really have to put a lot of time in on the website. And I want to say something right now to anybody that's thinking about this. When I first did this, I was so scared to lay down my money. I was scared. I researched you. I looked it up. I'm like everything I could, because it was, it's not a lot of money, I know, but it was a lot of money to me at that time. And I was so scared, like, because you hear all these, this is a scam. Is that a scam? Anybody that's listening to me, this is not a scam. You can do this and you will make money. I made money from day one. I made money from day one. And my expenses are not that much. Think about having light, gas, rent. You don't have any of that. And they're doing it all for you. Like, I'm so happy to be locked in, and I'm locked in. So anybody that's worried about that part of it, please don't worry. Nobody's more skeptical than me of a scam. This
Now,
is like best.
I also remember you saying something about you don't leave business cards behind. And what was it you actually do leave behind?
So this is very different. It's individual to me. My last name is Mancini. In the city, we have a bread company called Mancini's Bread. It's my
Now, when you
family.
say we, what do you mean?
My family,
Okay.
my uncle. So it's not my family, but it's my uncle's family.
Okay.
So instead of leaving a business card, I would leave a loaf of bread. And then that way people would be like, why do we have Mancini bread here? And then it's different than, oh, another salesman was in, like, oh, wait a minute. So that kind of helps,
Now,
to me.
would you put either above or below the Mancini bread symbol? Would you put a Pittsburgh local coupon sticker on
Well,
it as well?
I'd leave a card, but I'd leave the bread
Okay.
also. Right? Right. And another thing that I started doing is, if I post for Pyshell Jewelry and I want to get a new client, I tag them in that post. So they're seeing that post, and then they're reaching out to either Pittsburgh local coupons or to Pyshell Jewelry, asking, do I know you? Why am I in this?
Yeah.
And then, when they ask me, I'm like, oh, well, I put a listing up for you. I was going to call you, see if you wanted to become part of Pittsburgh local coupons. And part of that is that we all network. So you must have got networked in, and that's how you saw the post. Did you like it? And that's kind of helped me.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's one of the techniques that we recommend, and a variation of it, which is to ask people on your own personal Facebook page, do you have any businesses you'd recommend that could really benefit from being a part of my website? And you put the link. And then you see all these people chime in with a comment tagging local businesses, their own business, their friend's business, their favorite business, whatever. And then you can start a conversation that way. It's not a cold call. It's already a warmed up conversation. I love it. So social media is a big part of marketing. And I always tell people to utilize social media to market the business. You've obviously proven that a very effective method. And between your live videos and between the tagging, interacting with folks, I think you've really nailed that one. But, the whole bread thing makes me think of another tip that I've shared with other folks, which is not to take yourself too seriously, right?
No, yeah,
I mean,
no.
even though you're running a business and you have to be mindful of how I'm going to make money and stuff like that, you also need to enjoy yourself, because if you're enjoying your time when you're talking to someone, they're more likely to enjoy their time and in turn enjoy talking with you and associate you with a positive experience and your brand with a positive experience. And that's important. And I guess you do a little bit more than just leave bread. I could take it you have a a big personality? Do you engage with your clients a little bit? Use humor at all?
Always, always. You have to be interested in their business, and you have to
Yeah.
talk to them, and you try to entertain them for that little bit of time that you're there. Um, Another, so not bread. So for anybody else, because so not everybody's going to have a bread company in their family. Uh, a new a new cookie company opened up, and they make these fantastic cookies. So I'd gone, uh, and I got some cookies, and I went to see an existing client. Again, I keep on talking about them because they're my biggest client, and they really are a big supporter for me. Pie Shell Jewelry. So I went and I brought them cookies that day. And I'm like, look, I brought you some cookies from the new company. It just opened up down the street. Oh, they're fantastic. There was a customer in their store at that time. So that's how things work.
Ah.
Customer heard it. She saw them eating the cookies and how crazy they were about it. She went to the cookie place and said, Billy Mancini was in, brought these cookies. I got to try these cookies because they were raving about it. So now I go back to the cookie place, and immediately they're like, oh, Mr. Mancini. And Shannon, my fiance, is like, how do they know you? He goes, I know him because so and so came in here saying that he brought cookies to the jewelry store and they loved them. And then they came here and bought cookies. So now guess who's going to be in my directory?
That's such a brilliant strategy. It's like, even if okay, every business, especially in the food industry, loves to give out free samples, but it's difficult to do that because they don't have a lot of foot traffic and stuff like that. Like at the mall, think about the mall, the food court, right? There's always people handing out free samples because you have all the foot traffic. You try it, you say, that's
Right.
great. I'm going to come and eat there, right? You could actually function as a person who can distribute free samples.
Oh my
Like,
God. Actually, yes.
right?
And
Because
you're
then you can
bringing,
say, hey, make me a bunch of really small cookies. It won't cost you much. Put your sticker on a little package. I'm going to give these out to 40 businesses in the area. Talk to them about it. I guarantee you'll get a customer from it.
yeah,
And now you can kill two birds with one stone, right? Because you could not only help promote a business that you may or may not already have on your site, but then you could also have something special to leave behind, which is more than just a business card.
right. And it's memorable. It's memorable. It's like, oh, he
Exactly.
brought us those. He brought us those cupcakes, or he brought us those cookies, and it really works. It really is like to just walk in with a. I always say bring something if you can. Like just like you're gonna visit a friend,
Right.
bring something if you can. And in the long run, it's not gonna cost you. It's not gonna cost you
That's
because
so
you're gonna
cool.
gain something.
I love it. How could we have never thought to make that recommendation to someone before? I
I don't
love
know. I think
that.
you need to put me on the payroll. I think I'm
I
ready.
love it.
I think I'm ready for the payroll.
Tony Joy, write it down. We got to do that. That's great. Um, okay. So another thing I always like to recommend is, and I don't want to beat a dead horse, but don't be shy. Okay.
Right.
You got to go in. If you're bold enough to just walk in, if you're bold enough to make the call and visit a small business owner, either physically or on the phone, you can always walk out with something, some takeaway from that experience.
Correct.
Being able to see inside of a business could help you learn a little bit more about them. So your follow up call could be more, you know about their business more. You can learn someone's name. If you don't get a chance to talk to the person who's actually in charge, then you can ask for them by name, right? Not being shy gives you a leg up in the sales process. I take it you're not a shy guy.
No, but I I am shy, but I'm not shy when it comes to my business because I want money. I want to make a living, right? So I can't afford to be shy.
Right.
Right? So I have to go in there and and I have to believe in what I'm talking about. A lot of times I go in and I don't even say it's my business.
That's something
I
that helps
worked
you
for
be able
I
to just, separate yourself so they don't feel like they're
yeah,
paying you.
right. It
Got it.
helps me to be able to represent Pittsburgh local coupons because a lot of times being shy is you're afraid of
Hmm.
rejection.
Yeah.
So if you don't portray it as your business, they're not rejecting you as a person. they're rejecting Pittsburgh local coupons.
Yeah, it
Right? So
feels better.
it
Yeah.
kind of feels better, when you're
Yeah.
leaving. But even a rejection, you always go back because they're not going to feel the same. You know, Cookie, the little place, is booming right now because they just opened. They may not sign up, but when
Mhm.
this wave is over, they're going to need ways to get people in the door. Everybody is not always booming,
Right.
and they need
Exactly.
that. They're going to need help.
And
They're
that's
going to need.
why, like you just said, I think you're implying going back to businesses, speaking to them again, you might catch them at a time where sales are a little down, and then be like, oh, yes, okay, I think I'm ready now.
Or
Uh,
you might catch them that they just spent $3,200 on a billboard and it brought in nothing,
yeah, right, right.
right? And
And
so
that's the
now I
thing too
know.
about being shy. And you just mentioned a very expensive method of marketing. You don't have as much to be shy about. It's not like you're walking in there asking for 3 grand, five
No,
grand, whatever.
no,
I mean, you're keeping your prices affordable, right?
right. Oh, my prices are very. I think they're extremely affordable. As far as being shy, to anybody that's shy, you're going in there to help them with their business. They're not going to be mean to you. No one, and even if
Right.
they are, well, then you're not going to want to work with them anyway.
Right.
Like I tell people, if it's not working for you, I don't want you to do it. That's why there's no contract. I want you to only do it if it works.
Right.
Because I don't want to have to call somebody and say, "Oh God, I got to call them. They're going to yell at me." I don't
Yeah.
want to do that.
Right.
So when you go in there and you meet them, if you're interested in their business, they're going to friend you and be interested in them too. Don't always go in there with right away, I can do this and I can do that for you and I can do this for you. Don't even go in there like that. Go in there asking them, how did you get into this? How long you been open? Like, I know it's all kind of cliche talk, but it really isn't. Like, I never go in and say, I'm from Pittsburgh Local Coupons. This is what I can do for you. No, no. First, I find out if there's a need and if there's a way for me to help them, because there may
Right.
not be a way for me to help them, but
Right.
it can't hurt them to be on the directory. At the end, when you're leaving, for the price, it's not hurting you to be on the directory. It's actually hurting you if you're not, because other people are. And
Right.
if people are going to my directory, they're not seeing you.
And when you keep your prices affordable, you don't have to deal with price as an objection, right?
Right. Right.
Because then they could focus on something else, perhaps
Yeah.
that is their true objection. They can't argue with whatever you're charging, 29, 39, $59 a month. You just can't argue with that as a business owner. So if you can keep your prices affordable, you can get to, get that one out of the way. That's not an objection.
Right.
Let's talk about what else. Are you worried that I'm new? Are you worried that we're not going to get results? Are you worried that whatever else? And you can address those things straight up without having to have the price thing get in the way.
Right. And if the price thing gets in the way, and I tell this to everybody, I used to do this even with insurance. Break it down. So if it's $30 a month, okay, that's why, like, 4 Starbucks, yeah. Or if I bring you in one new client and they're a regular for a hair salon, say, they're paying for your spot on the website. One. That's all you need to do is bring in one. And now you're not even paying for the website anymore, because you wouldn't have had that client without me. And now you got them, so they're paying for the website.
Yep.
That's kind of how I break it down with them.
Yep. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Let's also talk about another thing that I find myself repeating quite a bit is to focus on the recurring revenue. We started off this conversation, you telling me that you wanted to start something that had the long term benefit of recurring revenue. Insurance is kind of like that too, right? And that allows you the ability to, number one, keep your prices affordable, but number two, build up that client base little by little, and you kind of get a little surprised when it starts adding all up to a nice chunk of change. So there are no upfront fees in this. That makes it easy for folks to adopt. But you've always got your eyes set on the recurring revenue aspect, right?
Always. That's the whole reason why I did it. Had this not been recurring revenue, I wouldn't have done it. That was the main draw to this business. Was when I was looking, it had to be residual. It had to be reoccurring monthly income. I want to work less acquiring people instead of, if you sell bread, I've got to sell a loaf every day
Yeah.
to make money. This way, I only have to sell it once, and now I'm going to make money every month off of it, right? And I just have to
Right.
keep that person happy. But I don't have to go see a new client every day. If I'm in mortgage sales, right, I have to find new homeowners every day. And once I did homeowner Mr. Smith, now I got to go to Mr. Jones, and I got to keep on going because they're already done. So with this, once I find that one client and they're part of the family or the group, now they're paying every month. And I don't have to find them again. I don't have to go see them every month to get paid from them. So residual is huge for me. That is the biggest draw to this business.
Got it. Yeah, that only makes sense. Don't you say to yourself, oh man, I can't wait for the day where I go in and I say, I'm from Pittsburgh Local Coupons, and you see it light up and they recognize it, and you're like, ah,
I can't
that's,
wait.
and it's going to
Can't
happen.
wait. I
It's
can't wait.
going
And
to
I
happen.
I think so.
But like
I know.
anything, people need to hear it a bunch of times. People need to see it a bunch of times. So you can't expect someone to hear or see it once and be like, "Oh yeah, Pittsburgh Local Coupons." No, they need to hear it and see it multiple times for it to resonate with them. And then once it does, then you get to that point of being, the whole, they say, the household name kind of thing. And that's what allows you to be able to cruise through the sales process considerably faster than having to explain to someone, okay, let's talk, let me introduce you to Pittsburgh Local Coupons. Now they've already been introduced. And there's no way to fast track that. You have to spend the
Yeah.
time. You have to invest the time in the marketing of the site in order to be able to establish that brand. And it's something that, quite frankly, it sounds like you're having fun doing. I've
Oh
had
yeah.
fun doing. And it's
Yeah.
something that allows you to get to know people and network and all that fun stuff so that you can eventually get to that point.
Right. You have to you're talking about the shirt, the doing the Instagram, Pittsburgh local. I want this image everywhere. And one of the main things for anybody that's watching also is you really have to compartmentalize what you're doing and make sure you have a schedule. It's so easy when you're working at home to go run the sweeper or go watch a little TV or get stuck on the phone. Make sure you're working every day. You don't have to work 12 hours, but make sure you're working every day. Make a list and get that list done, and you'll definitely see results. You have to work. This is going to happen on its own. You have to work.
You're absolutely right. There's a difference between an entrepreneur and a wantrepreneur, right?
Yes. Right.
You've
Right.
you can't just want it. You got to do it. You
You
got
got to
to
do
do
it.
it.
You got to do it.
And the entrepreneurs definitely know that. Well, this has been so enlightening. I think that anyone who's taken the time to watch this video, I think will walk away with a lot of information, knowledge, confidence, and energy. Quite frankly, you give off a lot of energy, and I'm kind of feeling like I should be starting a bunch of directories myself. And I think that and I think that people need that to once again understand that they're not alone in this. They're not the only person who's ever started a website using the Ideal Directories platform. You're a regular guy without any crazy connections to local businesses. You started off slow, just like the rest of us, and are building it up over time, and you're staying committed. And that is something that everyone, I think, can benefit from seeing and understanding. And I can't thank you enough for taking the time to explain all this.
No,
And
I'm happy to.
it's really been a pleasure getting to know your story a little bit better. And everyone definitely should check out PittsburghLocalCoupons.com. And is there anywhere else that people can find you as well? Is there a Facebook page or
Oh,
Instagram?
please on Facebook. Anybody, please follow Pittsburgh Local Coupons on Facebook and on Instagram because that's the only thing that I'm not so happy with right now is I don't have a big enough following on those two platforms. And that will help you in your directory when you can say, I have this many people that follow my Instagram and Facebook. So if you could, I would really appreciate that. PittsburghLocalCoupons.com on Facebook and Instagram.
Everyone go check that out. And also, at the very least, you'll be able to see what Billy's doing with his business, and you can learn some ideas and get some inspiration for what you can do with yours. All right, Billy. Well, once again, I really appreciate you doing this with me today. And I think everyone would like to thank you as well. I wish you the absolute best of luck as you continue to grow this, and hopefully we'll be catching up with you again soon.
Yep, I thank you for having me on, and I thank you for the opportunity with the ideal directories.
It's
What a
great
great
having you.
opportunity
You're
this is.
you're you're a real all-star, and we love watching what you're doing and can't wait to see what comes next.
Thank you, thank you.